in her favor, so to speak. You can't rely on what these people tell you unless they're being honest, and you know damn well she wasn't being. So I think she manipulated that test in her favor to show that she was, supposedly had trauma and stuff. The girl was not stupid, mostly. No common sense, though, okay? So, following Geffner's testimony, the state recalled Dr. Horn, who testified further on the gunshot wound. In closing arguments, Arias' defense argued that the premeditation theory did not make sense. Really? Wow. But she took pictures, but, premeditation wasn't involved. Yeah, right. What happened in that moment in time? The relationship of chaos that ended in chaos as well. Yes. There is nothing about what happened on June 4th in that bathroom that looks planned. Are you kidding me? Couldn't it also be that everything they went through in their relationship that she simply snapped? If Miss Arias is guilty of any crime at all, it is a crime of manslaughter and nothing more. Yeah. In rebuttal, of course, Martinez described the extent and variety of Alexander's wounds. There is no evidence that he ever laid a hand on her. Ever. Nothing. Nothing indicates that this is anything less than a slaughter. There was no way to appease this woman who just wouldn't leave him alone. He didn't want her anymore. He called her a stalker. So there you go. On April 3rd, a member of the jury was dismissed for misconduct. Another juror was dismissed after being arrested for DUI. Seriously, this whole thing was something else. On May 8, 2013, after 15 hours, she was found guilty of first-degree murder. 5 jurors found her guilty of first-degree premeditated murder. And 7 jurors found her guilty of both first-degree premeditated murder and felony murder. As the guilty verdict was read, Alexander's family smiled and hugged each other. And if I remember right, in the courtroom, when they showed the documentary on that, she had even changed her clothes so she looked more demure. Demure is the word I'm looking for. Didn't work. She stabbed the guy 27 to 29 times, slashed his throat, cut the trachea, the jugular, and the carotid. Now, if that wasn't premeditated, I don't know what was. And continued stabbing him. Then after he was dead, she shot him in the head. Now, come on. Come on. And then she took pictures. But it wasn't premeditated. Okay. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it possible? What do you think? The prosecution was required after this to convince the jury that the murder was cruel, heinous, or depraved. Oh, you think? In order for them to determine that Arias was eligible for the death penalty. I think she should have been, if you ask me. What do you guys think? Self-defense. I'm sure you do. The only witness was a medical examiner who performed the autopsy, in which her defense attorney, her Arias attorneys, who had repeatedly asked to step down from the case, get that, gave only brief opening statements and closing arguments. Are you kidding? This is what they said, in which they said the adrenaline rushing through Alexander's body may have prevented him from feeling much pain. Well, thank you for that. This was a defense attorney that said this. Are you kidding? Well, isn't that something? Wow. Make her drink the cool. Line them up. Let's make a big tub of it, Chris. Can you imagine somebody telling you that? Because of the adrenaline rushing through him, he may not have felt the pain. Whoa. Punch out. Wow. The prosecutor showed photos of the corpse and crime scene. Then paused for he showed them to the jury. And then paused for 2 minutes. to illustrate how long he said it took for Alexander to die at her hands. After 3 hours of consideration, the jury determined that she was eligible for the death penalty. Wow. She pleaded for a life sentence, of course. Maybe, no, don't drink the Kool-Aid, Valerie. Drink the Kool-Aid, go ahead. What do you think, Chris? Should she have some Kool-Aid? I'm not telling you. Don't tell her, Chris. She actually pleaded for a life sentence. She acknowledged her plea for life was a reversal that she made for a television reporter shortly after conviction and said that she preferred the death penalty. Until very recently, I could not imagine standing before you and asking you to give me life. Each time that she said she preferred the death penalty, she said, each time I said that, I meant it, but I lacked perspective. I'd just knock her upside the head. What's with the Kool-Aid? Maybe I want some. No, we're not going to tell you. Private joke. And anyway, at one point, she held up a white t-shirt with the word survivor written across it, telling the jurors she would sell the clothing and donate all proceeds to victim of domestic abuse. But seriously, this woman I think she needed the death penalty, not life. It was just crazy, 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 crazy. Do you think it was premeditated or not? What do you think? And of course the appeals, which I don't think she deserved. So, I don't know. No, Valerie, just listen to it. You shouldn't have told her. This case also featured on an episode of 48 Hours Mystery Perfect. There's been so much. It was just, because if you saw that documentary of her in the trial, you would have, she was totally, I don't know. She may have been smart, but she had no common sense. It definitely was premeditated. There's no doubt in my mind. I cut my finger making margaritas. Oh, wow. Okay. And she's as guilty as it gets. Absolutely. I'm sorry. But she is absolutely, totally nuts. I don't know how else to explain it. Yeah. Premeditated. I think the first clue was what premeditated was the pictures. And put the camera in the washing machine. Okay. Yeah. But seriously, if you saw the documentary and her trial, it was like, you just wanted to slap the crap out of her, you know? You really did, because it was ridiculous. It was totally ridiculous already, the way she was going on. And, of course, the violent abuse again. Why do people do that? They only come out with that after they're arrested. Hello? I don't understand it. Valerie, was it premeditated? Do you know of the case? She was real something else. She was a media attention hog. You didn't, see? You didn't have enough blood loss, did you? Did you remember doing it? Apparently she didn't. I don't know. There was no Margaritaville, so there you go. So, I don't know where you cut yours. Okay, no blood loss, no amnesia. So, yeah, I think she should have got that death penalty. The problem is, why are people so reluctant to give women the death penalty? Did you ever notice that? It seems to me that they're reluctant to give a woman the death penalty. Yeah, that's very true. Me either, yet. Wow. Update on Jodi Arias. She found love behind bars and is even planning a prison wedding. Okay. She's fallen in love with one of her many admirers. Are you kidding me? Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Ah. Totally insane. Here's a one for you. Um, yeah, isn't that just ducky, isn't it, though? Yeah. A woman in Scottsdale, during the same time as her trial, Jodi Arias' trial, Sherry Tobin shot her husband of 35 years, chopped up his body, and left most of his remains scattered over 3 counties in the state. Are you serious? Scottsdale, Arizona. That is insane. During this hype with Jodi Arias, she chopped him up and left most of his remains scattered over 3 counties. They didn't give specifics of what was found there. Yeah, isn't that crazy? But they didn't completely add up. Scottsdale police say Dwight was in the process of divorcing Sherry, and the day before he was scheduled to move out of their home, Sherry shot and killed him. After she stored his body at home for a while, she dismembered him and dropped off his remains in 3 counties. Meanwhile, no one else knew that Dwight was dead. She used his phone and email to send messages to family and friends. Dwight's daughter finally reported him missing months after all 3 sets of remains had been discovered by members of the public. Once he was reported missing, they started investigating Sherry, and she definitely admitted it. But again, they sought the death penalty, but after pleading guilty, she was sentenced to life in prison, plus 31 years. How do you get that anyway? You're sentenced to life in prison, but you get 31 years extra. Okay, that makes no sense to me. But this is what I'm saying. Again, it's a woman. Why are they so reluctant to give the death penalty to them? Just curious. I don't get it. And, that's another one. She cut him up and scattered him. That's what I like to know. Get a life sentence plus 31 years. Okay, we're going to bring you back after you die. You're going to serve another 31 years. Maybe they should do that. I don't know. I don't get it. And I don't understand why they don't get the death penalty. So, that was another one. She should have gotten the death penalty, I think. Life doesn't mean life, apparently. I don't know what it means. But they really should. I don't understand this reluctancy for that. They did it. You know what I'm saying? So, look at the one woman they did execute, Eileen Wuornos, of course, which they should have. But she did get the death penalty. It's 20 years or something, yeah. No, it's not. It means life. She's supposed to be in life without parole. So I don't know. But Eileen Wuornos, did get the death penalty. There were a few in the early 60s and stuff that were totally crazy. This woman called, and she should have been taken out back and just killed. Her and her boyfriend there. She was totally insane. Who was? Wuornos? Something, I don't know.